Welcome back to another episode of
Family Meeting.
My name is Matt Glass,
And I'm AJ Tenari.
and this is Family Meeting, the discussion-based portion of the Family Album podcast.
That's right, a show where we just talk about anything and everything relating to music.
And boy howdy, that's what we're going to do today. This is more of a loose concept because I took notice of the fact that my music listening habits are not quite what they used to be. And I started really noticing the stark difference between like my relationship with listening to music now
Oh, yeah.
compared to
Before the podcast.
Yeah. And even just like earlier in my life.
Yeah, totally.
I felt like that was something significant enough where we could have like a bit of a discussion about.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like going through the history of just like how I listen to music is just kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, well, actually, honestly, yeah, it really, really could be. I figure this is probably going to be the most like discussion
Focused.
focused, like flow wise. Like I don't really have like a structure. We could probably just figure that out
Now.
as we go along.
So get that music going, Matt, right now.
Wow, I always pick the best ones.
You really do. This one specifically, right in the pocket.
Right? Yeah, I love the one I did for last month. Not gonna lie to you.
That one was good.
Dun-dun-dun. But I don't want to sing it over the new music, and
No, that's going to clash.
yeah, it's gonna clash.
So sit back and relax, family heads, because we're going to dish real quick.
When was around the time where you started really listening to music like a bit more?
Like sophisticated or like...
Honestly, if you just want to start talking about when you started making like music listening like a daily
Yeah.
habit.
I think high school definitely was like the big turning point for me. Cause like before then, I think I mentioned on the show, I didn't really have like a specific kind of music taste. I was more like Tom.
Yeah.
Like I was very much into just like whatever like my parents were listening to, like whatever song they heard on the radio with my dad, or Starbomb.
Yeah.
But around when I was like 15, 16, when I discovered Pink Floyd, I definitely kind of like made it a goal to listen to more music like that. So I was like listening to specific songs. I like made playlists. I just kind of like looked up compilations of stuff. And then in college, I think is when I got like more into album listening, like from front to back. And then like I listened to so much shit in college. It was great. As I mentioned, my musical renaissance when I was like 20, 21. That shit was awesome. Just picking out just new things that I never heard of, that I heard great things. Kind of like actively sitting down, listening to music, just like actively taking it in and just liking what I liked, putting everything that I liked in a big playlist, and just like revisiting stuff that I thought was cool.
Now, did you mean like age 2021 or the
Yeah.
year 2021?
Actually, both. Yeah.
I guess technically, yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah, you can't just be one or the other. It's
That's true.
Yeah.
The music. I think I was 20 when that happened. Then. Yeah.
I see. No, honestly, it always surprises me when you say that like you didn't really start listening to
Yeah.
music like a lot until you got into high school. Did you play any instruments
I did.
before?
Like, I was still like a drummer because I started drumming in elementary school, but I never really like I never like took an interest in like actively seeking out music. I only like picked that up like when I heard something that I liked,
Yeah,
but I wasn't looking for it,
I see.
which is kind of like a big thing because I did this program when I was younger that was called Rock Band, where basically the place that I took lessons had this like program called Rock Band where it was like you and other people that took lessons there would kind of like form a band, pick like a set of songs, and then play that like a World Cafe Live at like the end of the program, which is really cool.
That is really cool.
But I never had songs to bring because I wasn't like listening to stuff, and the stuff that I brought they didn't like, so it was kind of like, well, fuck me.
Prague.
Not even at that point. It was just like Sublime, like a song I heard on the radio. The only song I got that like was actually picked was fucking Paralyzer by Finger 11.
Oh, I don't even know that song. That's
I'm not paralyzed, but I seem to be struck by you.
that's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
I don't want to hear the other version.
It was in a Batman AMV. That's how I found it.
Oh man, that is so real though about like finding songs through like YouTube
Yeah, oh,
videos.
totally.
Oh my,
Yeah,
like I'll
man.
do you one fucking better because this kind of ties into my music listening
Mm-hmm.
history. I would find whatever ways possible, like listen to songs that I like, even if it was just like the first 40 seconds of it.
Yeah.
I remember, God, I've been putting earbuds in my ears and headphones over my ears for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, I've gone through hundreds of thousands of headsets and headphones, and finally just landed on headphones because I don't care for earbuds
I gotcha.
at all. They hurt my ears actually pretty
interesting.
bad. I've really small ear holes. It's not fun.
It's okay, man. They have a great personality.
Thank you. I appreciate it, you know? But I remember, like, as a kid, I just loved the idea of, like, closing myself off and hearing music. Unfortunately, the music that I was listening to when I was younger, it was very limited.
Yeah.
A lot of it was, like, stuff that my parents,
Yeah.
like, would play. A lot of Barry Manilow.
Okay.
Barry
Nice.
Manilow. Who else? Who else was it? Shania Twain.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a fun thing, family heads. I used to be like actually quite a fan of Shania Twain's first album, Come On Over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's catchy shit, and
Yeah.
like the band that plays behind her is really good.
Nice.
But like, you know, it's
It's not like what you'd expect to listen to.
no.
Yeah, or would listen to now.
So it's funny you say that. I think in recent months, I think I had mentioned the one time when we got together, like, oh, I just listened to Shania Twain's like
Oh.
fucking Come On Over
yeah.
album, and I didn't really elaborate. Like, oh yeah, I was doing that because I was healing my inner child.
Revisiting some nostalgia.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, her music's kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna bring it here, but like, it'd be a fun car ride.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
A little passive listen.
Yeah, no, I would listen to a lot of things in my headphones and just based off of whatever I thought sounded good. Did I ever tell you what my favorite song was of all time?
Give me the Beat Boy, Play My Soul.
Yeah, Drift Away by
That one.
Dobie Gray.
Yeah.
Not the Uncle Cracker version. Stop the
specifically,
music. Stop
yeah.
the music. Not the Uncle Cracker version.
It's never Uncle Cracker.
No, it never has been and it never will
He
be.
has a slur in his name. Why would it be Uncle Cracker?
It's really, we need to reevaluate ourselves here.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, put the music back on.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm telling this to myself.
A moment of weakness.
Yeah. Later, Matt, put the music back on. But yeah, no, those are like, I revolved between those songs. A lot of other songs that I would hear either like on TV and like shows that had music, like
Yeah.
Victorious or like
Radio Rebel.
Radio. I wasn't a Radio Rebler, I don't think.
Oh, you were a lemonade mouth?
I was a Lemonade Mouth kid.
I see.
I was a Disney kid.
And a camp rocker.
I didn't really have any of their songs. So, also listening devices. We could talk about that too. Like
Okay.
what we used to listen to
Oh,
music
yeah,
on
dude.
before smartphones. Because I didn't have a smartphone until like high school.
I think I got one in middle school.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I had an iPod Shuffle. That was my first.
I had an
listening
iPod
device.
Shuffle too. Did you
Yep.
have the thin one or the one with like the circle?
I had like the pocket one. It like clipped onto your pocket. It was like basically a little square.
yeah,
Yeah, like a little ring around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit sucked.
I kind of liked it, especially when you would put it on shuffle and you just get the true anonymity of what was coming up next.
Yeah.
I mean, having no screen kind of blowed.
Yeah.
But like, because I remember my cousins had the iPod Nano. And I was like,
I'm jealous. I did get one of those afterwards. And that was really nice.
oh, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, see character arc. From the Shuffle to the Nano.
The AJ Tenari memoir, from the shuffle to the Nano.
I think it is like going back to YouTuber music, and because talking about my iPod Nano, like a lot of the tracks that were on there were songs I did hear from YouTube.
Yes, same here.
Yeah, it was like stuff that was in like compilations, like videos that I would watch. Like I think like fucking embarrassingly, Peanut Butter Jelly Time was on there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne. Just like this weird, just hodgepodge. I'd be curious to see what's on there. Like Panic at the Disco, Irison's Not Tragedies,
Yeah.
and 9 in the Afternoon. But that was like because like Ben like introduced me to that.
Yeah.
So basically, I didn't really gather my own music takes until high school.
Yeah.
It was just like stuff I heard or like stuff that was recommended to me, and I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, no, a lot of the stuff I listen to, I'll do you one even better. This is such a fucking poll for all you gamers out there who had a Nintendo DSi.
Oh yeah.
Flip note. People would make
right.
these fucking artistic fucking shit like I don't
Like
even,
stories. Yeah, you were telling us on the
Flipnote.
the American Idiot episode. I think you were telling us about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I walk a lonely
Yeah.
road. I would watch these people animate stick figure fights to these like songs. And there are so many songs where like I remember hearing them at a later date and I'd be like, oh
Yeah,
that's
where I
where
know.
Kanye West Stronger is
Okay.
another one.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't really appreciate Kanye West.
Yeah.
But
He does unfortunately have some good music.
and that song is forever gonna be kind of have a soft spot in my heart because
Yeah.
I really like it. In the End by Linkin Park.
Nice.
That was
Transformers
another one.
3.
Transformers 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Dark of the Moon, if you will.
That was another one I heard on Flipnote. What was the song? It's like, give me no, give me the fire, put up the floor.
Oh my god.
Up the
What
fire,
song is
and
that?
light it up, is
that
Usher?
Maroon 5.
Yeah, it could have been fucking Maroon 5.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't remember
Yeah,
what it was called.
There was an epic stick fight for that one. Oh my
Yeah.
god! But that did dictate a lot of like
Yeah.
my music taste. Because I would listen to music and have it on my through the flip notes on DSi.
Exactly.
And then also Weird Al. Oddly
Yeah.
enough, there was an Eat It animation where SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward were like, just eat
It's
it.
the whole thing,
Just like eat it. But it's interesting to think about now because like we stream everything like on our
Yeah.
cell phones, our laptops. Still, some people still on YouTube because YouTube
Oh, yeah.
does have like a music service.
Or they just like fucking raw dog it and make playlists. That's what I did in high school.
Dude, I did that for a little
Yeah,
bit.
I didn't have Spotify, so I just made a playlist of songs I liked and just like let it rip with my phone on the whole time.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Hear
Exactly.
the music you like.
Yeah.
I listened to songs on the media player
Oh, nice,
feature
dude.
on the 3DS.
Hell yeah.
I would listen to my music on a 3DS for a very long time. And honestly, at the time, I remember thinking like, oh my God, people are gonna think this is cringy because I don't have an iPhone. But I look back and I'm like, you know what? Fuck, pop off.
Exactly. Listen,
Pop off,
that's
middle
bass.
school Matt. Like, honestly,
I mean, like, I forget. I think it was like a few years ago. Nintendo had like a direct where like they had an ad where they showed someone like listening to music with their Switch. So it's like, hey, do what you got to do.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I would probably get a Switch Lite for that though. I don't think I
Yeah,
want to carry it
a
around
whole
like a
fucking.
full.
You carry a dock with you, plug it in.
I'm just gonna get a Switch Lite so I can listen to music on it.
Yeah, it's
Did
pretty
you
good.
hear about the Nintendo streaming service for music?
I didn't. Is
There's-
it like Nintendo music?
It's all licensed Nintendo music that Nintendo is just gonna allow you to have if you have online.
That's kind of sick, actually.
It is. However, there are a lot of great covers and reiterations of Nintendo songs on other streaming services, and I'm worried that this is gonna be them starting to police that.
Gotcha.
So I'm a little nervous because I found a jazz orchestral version of the Mario 64 soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it's quite amazing. I'll play it for you after. It's,
Okay.
it's pretty incredible.
Sweet.
But yeah, no. Back to the original point. It's interesting to look back and see like the ways I would listen to music before getting like a
yeah.
smartphone. Because I would say around the time when I was listening to music on my 3DS, that was when I started like I guess sort of finding more music that I would come to like really
Yeah.
tailor to what I want to listen to. And through me venturing on the internet is how I discovered
Yeah.
Skrillex.
Stuff you like. Yep. Oh boy.
So
What a throwback.
there is a Nintendo 3DS in my home full of Skrillex music.
Interesting.
And I hope that people realize that. And some Panic at the Disco music from
that era, the Bachelor era.
from the Bachelor era.
Could you like buy songs like for the 3DS, or like did you like download files to listen to the media player?
God, this is such a niche fucking thing. So back when iTunes was really iTunes,
Yeah.
you could actually like buy the music and then you might still be able to do it. I think like there are ways to still do that. I've never been an Apple guy, except we had iTunes and the iPod shuffles
Yeah.
to correspond with the iTunes. I would buy the songs and then I would download the file onto the SD card
Yeah.
that goes into the 3DS.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crafty.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like, and I always felt so like interesting to it. I was like, there's no other person doing this right now.
I'm kind of a Debbie Ryan hair thing.
It was fun though because my SD card was like reader was broken on my, I hate to say it, but one of two of my 3DSs. Sorry guys, I liked the 3DS quite a lot. I did sell one of them though.
Oh, rest in peace.
It's okay. It's in better hands now.
Exactly.
But the thing is, the SD card reader was broken.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd fire up like the audio application like on the 3DS, and it'd be like, there is no data in here, and I'm like, fuck. And I had to like,
I can't listen to my music.
I have to unplug it and then plug it back in.
It's
I'm
a
like,
whole thing.
and then I finally get to listen to Skrillex.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's the bottom line. You're just really trying to listen to Skrillex.
Thanks God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is very interesting to like think about that, because I think
Yeah.
it was around the time when I realized like I was like, wow, a music player with a screen.
Isn't this wild?
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it's in 3D.
I know. And then the touch came out. You could play. I never had a touch, but like that was like the big thing everyone wanted, because
Oh
you could
my
play
God.
games and stuff on there.
Dude, I wanted an iPod Touch so bad. My mom had one.
Yeah.
There was this like SpongeBob game that I wanted so bad. It was like a marble, like it was really fun. It was really, really
There
fun.
were marbles.
There were marbles
Awesome.
for hours and hours and hours.
Decades and decades.
God,
We gotta stop.
I think it was around the time in my 3DS music listening era where I really started, which would have been around like middle school for me.
Gotcha.
So I've always been kind of like loving
Actively
to
seek out
enclose
stuff.
myself into the music
Yeah.
that I'm listening to. But it was only in like middle school going into high school where I started to actually kind of try and seek out music.
Yeah.
Like that
Absolutely.
I was looking for. Because other than that, it was like Katy Perry,
Yeah. Whatever was on the radio.
Juicy J. Let's Raise.
Vlad the Impaler. Mr. 50s.
Mr. 50s, Count Rapula, you know, just
All the classics.
classic fucking
Yeah,
artists.
the 2010s.
that we all know
Defined
and
our
love.
childhood.
Unfortunately, there was some Tobuscus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I did listen to Diamond Sword. I listened to Nugget and a Biscuit.
Dude,
I was cringe, we
Mine
all
the
were.
Diamond was such a good fucking song, though.
I don't think I listened to that one.
It's about time that I mine a diamond.
Nope.
That was a good one.
Never heard that
Mini
one.
Minotaur, Viral Song. Those were all songs that I was like, God damn, Safety Torch.
He's done it again.
Safety Torch.
And then he was a piece of shit.
He was always a piece of shit. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Tobuscus.
Side note, I think a really cool episode of Family Meeting was talking about YouTuber music.
We should.
That'd be really cool.
We should. We've talked about viral songs before.
Yeah.
But
This is like different like subsect of that.
oh my God, then I
Yeah.
could talk about Dodie Clark and how I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
She is like one of my favorite like OG YouTuber
Yeah.
artists.
And then I could shit on Gabby Hanna. This
Oh,
works out for the both of
no.
us.
Oh no. I don't want to talk about Gabby Hanna.
Not again.
No.
Well, stay tuned for that one.
Maybe I'm a monster. Did you like that, family?
That was good. That was really good. That was really good.
That was really good. But yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was. I think it was once I got to high school. I actually got like a little SanDisk, like.
Oh, nice.
So then I had a
Protector.
screen, and also I wasn't carrying around a 3DS.
Yeah.
'cause I didn't want to be weird,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Only the weird kids listen to the 3DS, like Will Toledo.
Yeah, and it makes a whole album on the 3DS.
He really likes his 3DS.
Oh my gosh. I eventually moved away from the SanDisk, and then I started using Google Play Music,
Interesting. Gotcha.
and then that was when I started getting into like Queen,
Yeah.
which was like the first artist post Skrillex era
Uh-huh.
that I really got into.
I gotcha. Yeah, I think that's valid. I think like, yeah, so high school was like definitely when I started taking music more seriously. Cause like I said, like I was a drummer since I was like a kid, but I didn't really like drumming until college. And then they kind of picked up more like once I joined like band in high school and started doing like more percussion stuff. But like, yeah, just like finding like different bands that had a similar sound to the music that I wanted to hear was always really cool. Like I heard like a Steely Dan song on the radio, and then that like sent me down a rabbit hole where I would like look up like top 10 best Steely Dan songs and then just kind of like listen to each of them, put the ones that I like on a playlist, and then eventually that led me to checking out like their full albums. It was like a really cool like progression how like kind of looking back on it, how I went from like not listening to music at all to like my weird process of like discovering new music, and then just to like what I do now, which I guess can kind of segue into like how has music listening changed for you since starting the podcast?
Ooh, since starting the podcast, it's
Yeah.
very interesting. I mean, I think definitely starting the podcast has altered it a bit because I would try and find like albums that I liked for fun,
Yeah,
and we would talk about it with each other,
Exactly.
like, oh yeah, we should check that
not
out.
on a microphone.
Yeah, not on a microphone. But then I think one of the biggest things is like, now I feel like since we started the podcast, I can't listen to music without analyzing.
Yeah.
Does that like, I don't know if that's
totally
just a me
understand.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, God, like at work, I'm so annoying because we have like an aux that we play all this music out of, and I'll like be like looking at I'll be looking up,
Yeah.
like listening to it as if like I'm watching the
Yeah.
music. God, just into the Matrix. No, and like I think unfortunately, like now this new like proclivity to just scan what I'm hearing almost and like analyze it is like this thing that I probably will not be getting rid of
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah. You just kind of can't really turn it off.
Yeah. It's really hard not to. It's hard not to scan in order to form an opinion about it.
Yeah. I mean, which is probably a better mindset to have in general.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to know what you like and like, I guess
Explain why you don't like something.
and
Yeah.
flex the muscles of like explaining why you don't like something, but also like being able to sort of like pinpoint it faster.
Yeah, like use like terminology kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it does take away from like the more whimsical air
Yeah.
of listening to music that like I used to have.
I gotcha. As you're a little more jaded.
A little bit, maybe,
Yeah.
but I try not to be. It is really hard since starting the podcast, though. It has been really hard to find music that like I surefire like right away. I'm like, yes, and I miss that. That was like a
gotcha.
high I was chasing throughout like high school and college. And then now I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what they're trying to
This
go
could
for.
be good.
I see what they're trying to go for. Like,
I gotcha.
they're emulating a Rivers Cuomo-esque like.
They share similarities to Joy Division's Unknown Pleasures.
It pairs well with the like it's like a wine tasting.
Yeah, we're
but
not
with music.
pretentious.
I would say like that'd be the big thing. Like it's changed my I guess my drive to find new music.
I gotcha.
I feel like it's kind of caused me to like be listening to the same songs over and over again as of right now.
Yeah. I think I can definitely agree with that. Recently, I was actually taking a change for the better because there was like a point, I think during season 2, where like I just did not like listening to albums unless it was for the show because it was like, well, like now this feels like a job, which like kind of sucks. That's like never the mindset you want to have when like seeking out something you enjoy or that like you love. And like I mentioned when we did our top 10 albums of 23, I kept like a list of all the albums that I listened to. And I feel like that also kind of played a factor because that was just so much music I was consuming.
Yeah.
But like in the start of 2024, like I just like really didn't have a drive to listen to like new stuff that was coming out, like recommendations that were given to me. It was just only solely stuff for the podcast I was listening to. But that's actually changed recently. Like I think towards the end of the summer, I kind of started like seeking out stuff I hadn't heard before. I started getting back into like newer music, just kind of like keep up with like the trends, and I actually like enjoyed it a little more. So I feel like it can kind of bounce back a little bit. Like once Magdalena Bay came out with their new album, like I fucking adored it. Like you were saying, chasing that highs, like that, I felt that like immediately. I was like, yes, this is what I want. Like I got into Tool recently,
Yeah.
which like I was fucking awesome.
Was it from the music video that we watched together, AJ?
Actually, yeah, a little bit.
With the guy and the box and
yeah,
his face.
and he's like a puppet,
and the box.
and the monkey. That's Nine Inch Nails.
That's true.
But it actually
And the monkey. That is 9 Inch Nails.
yeah. But like actually yes, because I was listening to Sober, which is a track that I got from the podcast. I was like, what else does Tool have? So I listened to that whole album, and then Prison Sex is like the second track on that album, and I fucking love that track. I think it's awesome, and that got me to discover more albums. Like I re-listened to Lateralis, which I really liked. I listened to 10,000 Days, which I liked, but I didn't like as much. And now I'm kind of like on that Tool listening journey. So it's like I'm kind of getting back to my old listening habits, which I like a lot. And I'm catching up on albums that I wanted to listen to from 2024 that I didn't get around to. And now my list went from like 30 albums to like 70. So like it's bouncing back,
That's awesome.
which is cool.
I can kind of attest to like taking something that we've listened to and just expanding upon that by listening
Yeah.
to more of the artists. JPEG Mafia.
Oh,
for
totally.
me.
Yeah.
I've listened to like a ton of his projects since we reviewed Scaring the Hose.
Mm-hmm.
And his newest one, oh my God.
Yeah.
Fucking that. That's probably one of my, that might be like one of my favorite albums of this year.
Nice.
I mean, probably one of the best ones that came out this year. I still haven't listened to Chromacopia by Tyler.
Chromacopia is fucking amazing.
I've heard it's amazing.
It's awesome.
I gotta just, I'm worried because like Tyler the Creator has never really been like my thing personally.
Yeah.
But like, if it's really this good, I'm excited to like.
Yeah, dive into that.
I saw behind the scenes of him making some of the songs, and I'm like very intrigued.
Nice.
So, yeah, no, but I would say like JPEG Mafia. I feel like you kind of got me more into like rap and hip hop like as a genre.
Cool.
Because I've been definitely hitting some touchstones that like I know I've mentioned, and you kind of said like you didn't really like get to, at least not yet.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of myself in that way, because I feel like through listening to music because of the podcast, I've been like exploring a lot more music that I wouldn't have before.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is definitely an upside. I don't think I'm quite there yet with what you were saying, like in terms of like getting out of my rut. I feel like I'm kind of in a little bit of one right now.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
To be honest.
And I feel like I'm probably gonna go back into a rut at some point. Like it's just kind of natural with the process of creation. Just like you just get burnt out and just kind of gotta like roll with the punches.
I think this summer is kind of when I was really starting to feel it.
Oh, absolutely. Family vacation is not the most fun process.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
I was telling AJ before we started recording this episode and another episode. I mean, just this episode, because it's the night before.
Exactly, yeah. So this episode will come out tomorrow.
Yes.
Or sorry, right now, because it was recorded yesterday.
Yes. But what is today when yesterday's tomorrow? Yeah, I was telling AJ at a prior time that I was really struggling to find albums that I felt like were worth talking about by myself on here. And like, oh my gosh. I remember the one week, and I ended up like finding the album to actually be pretty decent. It was around the time of like Hotel La Rut when I reviewed that one. I remember there was like a point where I was kind of like, should I review this? Should I not review this? But then I kind of
zigged and zagged.
I kind of found a groove that I was looking into.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I mean, I think honestly, once we started like recording regular episodes again, I felt like I was a lot more like excited to listen to music.
Definitely. I would agree with that.
Which I guess could also like segue into another question. Do you find that you enjoy music listening a bit more when you have something to bring for like a conversation?
I think it depends. Specifically, like there are certain albums that I'm like ecstatic to bring on the podcast and just like gush about, but there are others that like I pick and it's like I think I have a lot to say and then I don't, and that's kind of like, well, I wish I could have either said this better or like I wish I would have picked something else just because I would have had more to say about that. So I think like it really just depends personally, because like I think there are definitely still albums that I'm just like I have like a lot of thoughts to say but I don't really know how to formulate them.
Yeah, which
is like really tough.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. There are definitely albums where like, I mean, you already know this. There are albums where I think like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and then we're gonna be able to talk about it, and then I'm like, oh, X and Y has a lot of songs, doesn't it?
Hurry Up, We're Dreaming. I did pick that one, didn't I?
Yeah, I sure did. I really did. That is an album I definitely picked. Yeah, no, like I've definitely been there. A lot of the stuff I chose on Family Meeting were like, it was shit that like I knew I at one point had on my radar to bring to talk about, but then I was like, let's just dump it in Family Vacation. Sorry, artists.
Not you, Brendan.
Oh man.
I think another thing, like at least musically related, that I kind of like reeled back in on was like music content creators on YouTube. I really don't watch a lot of them anymore, just because like we just have this whole process, and it's kind of like I'm like talking about music constantly. Like I don't really want to hear about it like a lot. Like Mike the Snare is like one of my favorite YouTubers, and I'm like so behind on Deep Discog Dive. Because I want to get back into it, but like I watch like 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm burnt out.
I gotta be honest with you. I feel like as a critic, I guess is what we call ourselves now.
Yeah, nostalgia critics, honestly.
Hello. This is Family Meeting.
That was good.
Thank you. I came up with that myself, actually.
Oh shit! You should make that a character.
I really should. That's actually something that I feel like I've had the opposite reaction with. Like,
Gotcha.
I feel like I've been so apt to like listening to a lot of other music critics,
yeah,
and like their reviews, because Because one, I think it helps my vocabulary a
Yeah,
lot.
that's valid.
And it's taught me like, oh, I can talk about music in such and such way.
Yeah.
And like I can still have like a well thought out thought without it having the best words, like which has definitely validated a lot
Yeah,
of my run
totally.
on Sentencey reviews in the
Yeah.
past. But Mike the Snare, he's a classic one.
Yeah.
Mark But Evil.
Oh yeah,
He's
cool
coming
too.
out with a Maladroit video.
Really
Yeah.
nice.
Which I'm very eager to hear about what he has to say about it.
Yeah, I haven't. He's another one that I haven't watched in a while. I think like it's been a year since I watched his channel.
Todd in the Shadows is another one.
Todd in the Shadows, I think, is the exception. Like I always tune it for train records.
Yeah, I kinda got into a bit of a rabbit hole with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he's fun. He's very fun.
it's great. He's a classic.
He is.
One of the only good Channel Awesome members.
That's very true.
Yeah.
What's his face called? The big one.
Fantano.
Anthony Fantano.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to his opinions that much until like after I listen to the album,
Yeah.
but he has been a great resource.
I just like how to talk
Definitely.
about music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing we could actually talk about now that I think about it. I feel like we said that like 6 times.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, this
It's when we
is
go off the cuff.
This is family meeting.
Yeah.
This is family meeting. That's what I always say.
That is. Yeah.
I sound like the fucking the Watch Mojo lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Podcasts.
How have you sought out the albums that like you either bring to the podcast or just listen to in general? Like, do you pay attention to the Spotify algorithm at all, or do you like?
I usually have like ideas in mind of what I want to do. Like I have like a whole list of like albums like on like the backlog that I want to talk about eventually. Sometimes it'll just be kind of like a spontaneous thing. Like some rap songs that was like off the dome. Cause like recently I listened to it for the first time while like playing like a video game, just like while I was grinding, and then I was like, this is like a beloved album, but I don't really get it. I think it'd be interesting to talk about, so let's do that. But like Come Out of My House, that was an album that I had on the list for like season 2. I'm like, fuck it, let's bring on season 3. Let's start off with Sparks. I love that album. And then a little spoiler for next week, we actually have a theme for those albums. So like that was another off the dome thing where I kind of like think about what I wanted to bring on, rather than like something that I was gonna bring on anyway.
Yeah.
So it definitely depends. I feel like I have a good grasp on stuff I want to talk about, but there are other times where like something comes up, or like I want to do like a specific theme, or like I want to throw like a bad album your way, like see what happens. It just depends like what I'm feeling.
Yeah, like a bad album like Loveless by My Bloody Valentine.
You can shut the fuck up.
Oh god, yeah. A really bad album. Like like Are We Not Men? We Are You know, an extraordinarily bad album. All right, I'll stop.
Like In the Court of the Crimson King.
I actually like that one.
You do like that one.
I did.
That's a good one.
I still got to do my season 1 ranking, don't
Yeah,
I?
you do. Another family meeting idea.
Maybe next month,
Maybe
actually.
next month.
Tune
Well,
in
not
for
next
that.
month, because we have our big plan. Our top 10 of 2020.
Yes. Yes, the big plan. Yes. The Big Apple.
There we go.
January.
January. That's a good way to start the new year.
It could be.
Yeah.
Going back. and
Going back to the past.
It's just gonna be me talking about.
Yep. To listen to the albums that suck
and
ass.
then you reacting to me.
And I go, wow, that's interesting.
I'll re-listen to all of them and then I'll give you my list.
Sounds good.
I'll have to make it fast.
Yeah, and not break it down into 5 parts.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next 5 family meetings. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh my
us-
god. Breaking them in chunks.
all 40 minutes each.
We're gonna bring ads back for that.
You know what I love? Steely Dan.
Oh, what a throwback.
Well, yeah, but God, amazing. I feel like when I heard those ads, it sounded like I couldn't read. I always worry about that when I read things. I'm like, shit, does this sound like I've read something before?
It's okay. We're stupid.
I can be sometimes.
It's all about perspective on the family album. We're just kind of random dudes, and we just talk about stuff that we like. We're not professionals, but we like to just talk about music.
You know, you said all about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Have any guests influenced any of your listening habits from us bringing them on?
In terms of the albums they brought on, or just their perspective of music listening.
We could do both.
I think Andrew Marshall, definitely, like, as a music listener, he's like someone that I kind of like respect for like their opinions and like how they listen to music. But I feel like it's also just really interesting bringing people on like Elizabeth, who's like someone in the industry, and like she has this like that whole other insight to listening to music.
Yeah.
Or Andrew Cavalier, like her brother,
who teleports to different states.
Exactly. When he listens to music. And like Ben and Evan, like Evan is like super into like music listening.
Yeah.
But Ben is an actual like musician.
Yeah.
So it's like there's definitely like a lot of like cool perspectives that we gain on this show. And I feel like listening habits I don't really pick up too much on that like I kind of implement into my own style of listening. But like I definitely kind of like appreciate all the different angles we see. In terms of albums, maybe Die Lit, but I was kind of set on that from when I came in.
Yeah. Boy, howdy was I. I don't know if any of the guests like changed my opinion on like an album per se, but I feel like in terms of my trajectory of like what genres I listen to,
Yeah.
although I didn't care for Long Drive with Nothing to Think About, I definitely have gotten into a couple artists that are like adjacent to Modest Mouse with a bit more of a polished sound than that album.
I gotcha.
Foxygen.
Is that an artist?
Yeah.
Nice. I never heard of them.
They're like a lo-fi, very fuzzy, like lo-fi, like pop rock band from like the 2010s.
Nice.
I like them.
Chill.
And then also Guided by Voices, but they're a lot older.
I gotta listen to them. I hear they're very good.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing them at my job.
Nice.
Didn't you say Evan likes Guided by Voices?
Evan does like Guided by Voices.
I gotta talk to him more.
Yeah. In general.
Just in, yeah.
I'm gonna call him tonight.
I don't even know how he'd react if I called him.
Probably
like-
say, oh, hey,
It's
Matt.
like, hi, Evan. Hi.
Oh, hi, Matt.
What's going on? Oh man, but yeah, no, I would say Alec definitely, like in terms of genre and like that area, I've definitely listened to a lot of artists that are in the areas of like the albums he chose, especially Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have listened to 10 by Pearl Jam a few times.
Banger. Great
that's
album.
a great album right there.
I'm trying to think, like, I mean, like, not in a specific way, but I'm a videographer for Ben's band, so like being around like the metal scene helps me like appreciate the music more, but I don't really like actively seek it out. Like Tool wasn't because of like obsolescence, it was just because like I like Sober, and then I was like I want to hear what else they have, and then I just really liked what else they had. I'm like cycling through like every album, seeing like what can be.
I will say Maggie's episode did give me a lot of respect for artists in those areas.
Yeah, the pop girly
with
genre.
Renee Rapp and Olivia Rodrigo. I did listen to Guts.
Yeah?
Finally, and you are right. It is a lot better than Sour.
Yeah.
It's actually like no competition.
Oh, yeah,
in my
totally.
opinion, pacing wise, it's like no
Yeah,
competition.
night and day.
Yeah.
It's great. Chapel Roan?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we gotta find somebody to talk about Chapel Roan with.
Yeah, I'm sure we could find one guest, or one of us can bring it on.
That's true. I guess we could.
Yeah.
We could just bring it on.
That's true. We have that power.
Yeah.
It is our podcast.
I just get worried if it's just like I don't want the fandom to be like, oh, these two men are gonna talk about Chapel Roan.
I mean, we might get gate kept from that, but
it's like-
who gives a shit?
but it's, she's so good.
She's really good.
so good.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Oh my god, like
I'm excited to see where her career goes.
no, for real. Especially like emotionally reacting to all the backlash
Oh, yeah.
that is so undeserved.
Nah, she's kind of based as a
She
person.
is.
Yeah.
Paparazzi fucking suck.
Yeah.
I've always thought they suck. Like
And she's fucking telling her how it is and setting healthy boundaries with her fan base. Good shit. More of that, please.
it'd be cool if there was an even more emotional turn with her music, because I feel like she would fucking dominate.
Oh yeah,
that.
especially with like her softer ballads on Midwest Princess. Yeah, she could easily do something. This is but a podcast about our listening habits, but you know, it's family meeting. We're just gonna shoot the shit about random stuff we want to talk about.
I mean, hey, it's adjacent to that, and
Yeah.
we're talking about something we do listen to, and is current. You know,
And it was related to a topic we were talking about, which was girly pop from Maggie's episode.
I definitely have gotten a lot of respect for Renee Rapp as of late right now, because I'm listening to upon listening to the extended version of Snow Angel, I definitely was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then
Yeah.
that was when she just really blew up and popular.
Yeah.
Like right after that episode, it's because of the episode, actually, guys.
Honestly, Renee Rapper, know if you're listening, you can thank us, send us a check in the mail.
yeah.
Nah, but she was like even like big before we did that episode. Like
She
she was
was-
like getting up there.
Yeah, I mean, she was on a TV show called The Sex Lives of College Girls.
Yeah, and then she was in Mean Girls.
Mean Girls too.
Yeah, 2 Mean 2 Girls.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think Maggie's like discussion about girly pop artists definitely like opened my eyes and made me a bit less critical and also a bit less like a bit more open to like seeking them out because
Yeah.
I found there's like a really nice happy middle between like the girly pop and the alternative.
Yeah.
Where like Fiona Apple is and even like oh god, who released the great album this past year? She's not really girly pop, but like this sort of more like
Like the indie.
like
kind.
femme fatale, like
Claro?
indie Claro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claro's
That
album was fucking awesome.
That album was
It was great.
fabulous.
It was amazing.
That actually might be like my top 5.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not even joking.
Yeah, spoilers, it's up there for me. I
It's
really enjoyed
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Are we gonna do a top 5 or a top 10?
We're doing top 10.
We're doing top. Thank God.
And fuck it, like honorable mention, like for top 15 too. Get excited for that.
Oh yeah, that's true. The honorable mentions. Honestly, I think we talked about a lot of great stuff today.
Yeah, definitely kind of recounted our entire history as music listeners.
I feel like this is just more of a check-in of where we're at in life. in
mentally.
terms of- But hey,
It's season 3.
it's family meeting.
Season 3.
Season three. Yellow River Boys. Yellow River Boys.
Not quite.
Oh yeah, we're getting there.
Oh boy.
In our Lord and Savior year of 2025, AJ will listen to
the
the
Yellow
Yellow
River
River
Boys.
Actually, I'm gonna make him listen to it for family vacation. I think that'll be the
Why?
best.
Why? But I get to choose that, man.
No, you don't.
Not anymore.
Family vacation, but we choose each other's albums.
That'd be funny.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea for like a one-off.
No, for the whole thing. Actually, it's gonna be Melanie Martinez.
Dude, I would be sad. I'd be very sad, in fact.
But hey, listen. There's another reason to be sad. I think it's time to wrap things up.
Family meeting's over.
Yes.
I don't love that.
No, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. However, this has, as you said, been an episode of
Family Meeting.
As always, I'm Matt Glass,
And I'm AJ Tenari.
and we will see you next week with a regular episode.
Peace.